Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial on list operations in Python. So to start off with, a list, as the name suggests, is a data structure where we can store more than one item. So like in a shopping list, we can write down lots of items. A list is a way of storing more than one item in Python. So here on the Python shell, I've already defined some of my own list. I've got list nums, which is a list containing 2, 12, 7, minus 33, all the way up to 50. These numbers that you can see here, denoted by the square bracket notation with all of the numbers separated by commas. So 2 is an item of the list, it's at position 0. 12 is at position 1 of the list, 7 is at position 2, and so on. So these items are all separated by commas. Then I've got list of words, which is literally a list of strings. The Harry Potter series is famous, all of these words separated by commas. And I've got a mixed list, a list that has a bit of both, so a few numbers and a few strings here and there. So the first thing I can do with the list is find out what item is at a particular position. So the 0th item of the words list is the word the, T-H-E. And with a mixed list, if I go for the 3rd item, or the 3rd index item, I've got a string. So we've seen this square bracket notation before with strings, finding out which particular character within is in a position of a string. So we've seen that square bracket notation before. Remember, we're counting from 0 in computers. Again, just like strings, I can find out a particular position of an item within a list. So if I say .index minus 33 for the list of numbers, I'm looking at the 3rd item, counting from 0, the third item. So .index outputs the position of a given item in a list. Then if I go for .count, which we've seen before as well, finding out how many occurrences of an item are in a list. So I say the mixed list, how many fives are there in this list, and Python will output 0, which is correct. Again, with numbers, I'm going to say how many 45s are there in my list, and there happens to be 1, so Python will output 1. Right, list of numbers. So another thing we can do, remember with strings we could add the two together to make a larger string. We can do exactly the same thing with lists. So if I go list of nums plus list of words is added to the list of numbers. So the two are combined just to make a larger list essentially. What I can do is add a particular item to the end of list of numbers using the .append function. So what I'm saying is list.nums, add to it the item 21, add it to the end, and that's what we see here. 21 has been added to the end of list of numbers, or list nums. And to delete an item from the end of the list, we use the pop function, listnums.pop, and it returns to me the value that is deleted. So it says that it's deleted 21, and if I print out list of nums to confirm it, we've seen that indeed 21 has been deleted from the end of the list. So append and pop to add and remove items to the end of the list, or from the end of the list. Another operation that we can do is slicing the list. So we saw with string slicing we could access a certain range of characters within the list, and we can do exactly the same thing for the list itself. We can access particular index ranges of items. So here I've asked Python to give me the items in the list from position 0 up to, but stopping at item position 3. So we can slice the list as we can do with strings as well. What I can do is reassign a value within the list so that if we look at this example, list mixed with the square bracket notation 3 is my string. So previously that third value was a string, if we can see here, and now I'm just going to set it to my string. I'm going to replace it with my string. So if I now print out list mixed and see what it gives me, we've seen that it's the same list except that the string a string has been replaced with my string, as we had in that command just above. So here we've got an example of reassigning elements of a list. If I've got a list of numbers, I can say what's the maximum number within that list, the biggest number essentially. And using the min function, I can say what's the minimum or the lowest value within the list. And with the string, the order is alphabetical, and with numbers the order is in order of magnitude. So the first number alphabetically, the first word alphabetically in the list of words is famous. Python has algorithms or ways of sorting lists as well, so I can sort out the list of numbers. So list of numbers has now been sorted in ascending order using the dot sort function. And I can do exactly the same for the list of words. Again, it's sorting alphabetically. So the minimum of list words is famous, so it's the first item in the alphabetically ordered list, as we saw above. So that's just a brief overview of the main list operations that we can do in Python. It's very similar to strings, where we can access particular items within the list. We could see what item is at a particular index. We could see how many or at what position a particular item occurs. We could combine lists together. We could add to a list. We could remove to a list. We could slice the list, so access a particular range of elements of the list. And we could order the list if possible and see which one's the maximum and minimum, and that's what we're covering in this tutorial. Hope that's useful.